Good morning, America. Who's got the coffee? The rooster's yelling way too early. The dog already stole my shoe. My neighbor's truck won't start again. Guess that's nothing new. The waitress down at Betty's Diner knows my order by heart. And old Joe's still telling stories before the day can even start. The sun is climbing over Nashville. New York's already wide awake. And somewhere down in Texas, somebody just burned the bacon again. Good morning, America. Pour another cup and sing. From the mountains to the ocean, hear the church bells ring. Good morning, America. Turn that radio up loud. Life's too short to spend it sleeping. Come on, make your mama proud. Hey! A teacher's running late to school. A cowboy lost another hat. A tourist in Arizona just got chased by somebody's cat. The mechanic at Miller's garage is already underneath the Ford. And somebody in California still thinks 6 a.m. is too darn early. The coffee's hot, the sky is blue. The world ain't perfect, but it'll do. Good morning, America. Pour another cup and sing. From the Grand Canyon to Manhattan, hear the morning music ring. Good morning, America. Put a smile upon your face. Another day of dreams is waiting. Let's get moving, pick up the pace. Hey! Hey, Nashville! Hey, Texas! Hey, Tennessee! Hey, Arizona! Hey, California! Ha! Hey, everybody's still in bed. Get up! Good morning, America. The sun is shining coast to coast. Raise your coffee to the morning and to the people that you love most. Good morning, America. Another day has just begun. And if you're lucky enough to be here, then you've already won. Good morning, America. Now go make some memories. Monday through Friday, this place belongs to everybody else. Oil changes, flat tires, broken engines. But Saturday belongs to us. The garage door rolled open just like every weekend before. Sunlight hit that red Mustang parked beside the old side door. Jimmy brought a box of burgers, Mike brought tools he swore we'd need. Tom showed up with nothing again, but that's alright with me. The radio played old country songs, someone cracked a joke. Someone fired up the grill as the afternoon awoke. Saturday at Miller's garage, grease on our hands and nowhere to be. Talking about cars and old girlfriends and where we thought we'd be by 33. Saturday at Miller's garage, the sun hanging low, Spent 3 hours on that Mustang, arguing over every part. Half the time we fixed the engine, half the time we fixed our hearts. Stories got a little bigger every year and every beer, but somehow every laugh felt honest with the same old faces here. The shadows stretched across the pavement, the sky turned golden red. Nobody talked about tomorrow, we were living now instead. Saturday at Miller's garage, grease on our hands and nowhere to be. Talking about cars and old girlfriends and where we thought we'd be by 33. Saturday at Miller's garage, the sun hanging low above Main Street. Some folks spend their weekends chasing money, we were already rich to me. Funny thing about happiness, sometimes it isn't a vacation, it isn't a promotion, it isn't winning the lottery. Sometimes it's just a red Mustang, a few friends, and a Saturday afternoon. Some of us got married, some moved away, some aren't around us now. But every time I hear that engine, and every time the weekend starts, I can still see that red Mustang and all my friends inside my heart. Saturday at Miller's garage, the best things in life were free. And looking back now, those were the good old days, even while we were living them. Monday will come soon enough, but not today. Every town has one. If your town doesn't, it's probably you. Tom showed up every Saturday about 1:15. Never brought a single burger, never brought a wrench or tool. Never paid for any gasoline, never chipped in for the beer. But somehow every single weekend, Tom was always here. Tom never brought a thing, not a dollar, not a dime. He'd eat your burgers, drink your beer, and stay until closing time. Tom never brought a thing, and everybody knew. But if life ever knocked you down, Tom came running through. Still living with his mama at the age of 32. His truck had 3 different colors and 1 working window too. He borrowed everybody's tools and never knew where they went. And somehow every Friday night his paycheck was already spent. Tom never brought a thing, not a cooler, not a plate, but somehow every barbecue, Tom was never late. Tom never brought a thing. Lord, we all complain, but life would have felt a little empty Funny thing about Tom, we all thought we were helping him. Then one winter, we found out the truth. When Miller's dad got sick that year, Tom showed up every day. Never asked for recognition, never asked for any pay. When Jimmy lost his little brother, Tom sat with him all night. Didn't say a whole lot, just stayed there until first light. That's when we finally noticed what we'd somehow always missed. The poorest guy among us was the richest one that lived. Tom never brought a thing, not the things that money buys, but it'd bring his heart and bring his time and stand right by your side. Tom never brought a thing, and now that I look back, I'd trade 100 perfect friends for one more friend like that. Tom finally bought the first round once. We were all so shocked, nobody knew what to say. And then he borrowed the money from Miller. You ever know somebody your whole life, and then one day you see them differently? Yeah, that happened to Tom. We shared crayons in kindergarten, sat together in first grade too. She'd steal my cookies at lunchtime and blame it on somebody new. We grew up on the same old streets, the same church every Sunday night. I guess she was always there, I just never saw the light. Funny how a heart can sleep for 20-something years and wake up all at once when somebody smiles your way. Abby, where have you been all my life? Then I laughed and shook my head, 'cause she'd been there the whole damn time. Abby, one look in the world felt new. I came to that garden party, but I left thinking about you. Jimmy was flipping burgers, Mike was talking about a truck, Tommy Jenkins broke a lawn chair. Everybody laughed their luck. Then you walked across the backyard with your hair down in the breeze, and suddenly the only thing I could hear was my heartbeat. I've known every road in this town, every field and every tree, but somehow that summer evening You became a mystery. Abby, where have you been all my life? Then I laughed and shook my head, 'cause you've been there the whole damn time. Abby, one look in the world felt new. I came to that garden party, but I left thinking about you. Miller noticed first, of course he did. Miller notices everything. He took one look at me, looked over at Abby, sipped his coffee, and said, "Oh boys, Tom's in trouble." I wasn't looking for forever, wasn't trying to fall apart, but some stories start with fireworks and some begin inside your heart. With one small smile, one summer night, one moment underneath the stars. Abby, maybe everybody knew. Maybe Jimmy, Mike, and Miller saw it long before I do. Abby, the funny thing is true. I spent my whole life looking for love, and it was standing right beside me in a town called Miller's Garage, waiting for me to notice you. Funny thing about Abby, she says she noticed me first. Funny thing about fire, you think it's there to keep you warm, but sometimes it's there to bring people home. The old garage is quiet now, the Mustang's parked out by the drive. Tom's got a house with Abby, and somehow everything feels right. There's a porch swing by the front door, roses climbing up the rail, the kind of place we used to talk about back when we were all raising hell. And the fire still burns as the sun goes down. Same old friends, just a different town. From Miller's Garage to this front porch light, the years rolled by, but we held on tight. And the fire still burns tonight. Jimmy brought his famous burgers, Mike brought tools he didn't need. Tom brought everything this time, and everybody laughed at me. Abby smiled and shook her head, said I packed it all myself. And for the first time in forever, Tom didn't blame somebody else. Miller rocked back in his chair, coffee cup held in his hands, looked around at all of us and smiled like only Miller can. He said, I thought I was fixing cars all these years. Turns out, we were building a family. And the fire still burns in every laugh we share, in every story told, in every empty chair. And when the next generation comes and asks us where it all began, we'll point back toward that old garage and smile, because they'll understand. Funny thing about home, sometimes it's not a place. Sometimes it's people. For 70 years, Miller fixed engines, fixed brakes, fixed broken down trucks, fixed everybody else's road. But somehow, he never found the time to travel his own. So one Saturday morning, we handed him a bus ticket and said, "Get in, old man, America is waiting." The sun's rising over Nashville, coffee steaming in our hands. Tom forgot his suitcase twice before we even left the land. Mike brought maps and extra tools. Jimmy packed enough to feed a town. And Abby sat beside old Miller as the wheels began to roll out. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, 70 years and a world to see. From the mountains to the oceans, from the deserts to the sea. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, the journey we should have made before. But it's never too late to chase a dream and open one more door. New York City took his breath away, standing underneath the lights. He looked up at all those towers like a boy on Christmas night. He said, "Boys, I spent my whole life fixing things with nuts and steel, but somehow this old city doesn't even seem real." Then we crossed through Pennsylvania, cornfields stretching mile by mile. Miller watched the rolling farmland with that quiet little smile. At a diner in Ohio, an old waitress asked his name, and before we left she hugged him like she'd known him all her days. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip. Every highway tells a tale, every stranger has a story, every road becomes a trail. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, a lifetime packed into one ride. And somewhere between the miles, we left our worries far behind. Funny thing about traveling, you think you're going somewhere new, Then you realize you've been looking for it your whole life. The Grand Canyon left us speechless. Even Tom forgot to talk. The sun was painting ancient colors across the endless desert rocks. Miller stood there at the railing, wind against his silver hair, and for a while nobody moved, nobody even dared. Because some places are so beautiful, you don't know what to say. You just stand there with the people you love and let the moment stay. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, Monument Valley in the sun. All those years we thought life waited, turns out life had already begun. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, with old friends by our side, and every mile becomes a memory on this long and winding ride. California brought the ocean, waves beneath the golden sky. Abby rested on Tom's shoulder as the evening drifted by. Mike still carried half his toolbox, Jimmy still burned half the food, and Miller laughed so hard that evening coffee nearly left his shoes. Las Vegas lights, Arizona stars, the Pacific coast, and 1,000 bars. Small town diners, open roads. Everywhere we went felt a little like home. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip, the gift we never knew we'd give. Because the greatest part of traveling is remembering how to live. This is Miller's Great American Road Trip. And if I had to choose between 1,000 famous places or these friends beside me, I'd still choose you. On the way home, Miller looked out the bus window, smiled, and said, "Boys, America's beautiful. But you know what? I think I already had the best view." Then he looked around the bus at Tom, at Abby, at Jimmy, at Mike, and said, "Right here." And nobody said a word, because we all knew he was right. He was right. Funny thing about traveling, you spend all that time dreaming about leaving. Then one day, all you can think about is coming home. The Tennessee hills were waiting just beyond the morning rain. The old bus rolled through familiar roads, and every sign looked the same. Tom was sleeping by the window, Mike was staring at the sky. Abby leaned her head on had tears in his eyes. We're coming home, back where the coffee's always hot, back where everybody knows your name and somehow never forgot. We're coming home, to the streets where our stories began, back to the garage, back to the diner, back to home again. The church bell rang at 10 o'clock. The gas station sign still leaned. The barber shop looked just like always, like we'd never even been gone. Then somebody shouted, "There it is!" And every head turned around as Miller's garage appeared at the edge of town. We're coming home, back where the coffee's always hot, back where everybody knows your name and somehow never forgot. We're coming home, to the people who waited all along, and suddenly every mile behind us felt exactly where it belonged. We saw New York, we saw the ocean, we saw deserts, mountains, and canyons. But funny enough, the loudest cheer of the whole trip came when somebody spotted Betty's Diner. Betty stepped outside the doorway, coffee towel in her hand. She saw the bus and dropped the towel before she even tried to stand. The dog came running like a madman across the parking lot, and Tom said, "I think he missed us." Mike said, "No, he smells burgers." Every road leads somewhere, every journey has an end, but the best destinations are waiting there as friends. We're coming home, to the laughter and the light, to the front porches and the old town roads under Tennessee skies tonight. We're coming home, and if there's one thing that we've learned, you can travel all across America, but home is where your people are. The bus pulled in behind Betty's Diner. The engine stopped. Nobody moved for a moment. We just sat there, looking at home. Then Miller smiled and said, "Well, boys, let's get some coffee." Yeah.
Funny thing about seeing someone every day, you stop noticing it until one day they aren't there, and suddenly the room feels different. Every morning at 6:30, the bell above the door would ring. Mike would take the stool by the window, and I'd pour coffee before he'd speak. 2 eggs, bacon, extra toast, same order every single day. Funny how the smallest habits become part of your life that way. And that empty stool kept staring at me every morning across the room, like a question I didn't want to answer, like a song missing half its tune. The coffee got cold, the mornings felt long, and that's when I realized something was wrong. The bus was somewhere out in Arizona, or maybe California by then. Seeing mountains, deserts, and oceans, while I stayed here serving friends. Everybody talked about Miller and the places they would see, but every time that door stayed closed, the one I missed was Mike, not me. Funny thing about loneliness, it doesn't always arrive when you're alone. Sometimes it arrives when one person is missing. The town kept moving like it always does. The church bells rang right on time. Tom's mama still bought cherry pie every Friday around 9. But every morning I'd look up, every time the bell would ring, and for one foolish second I think it might be him. And that empty stool kept staring at me every morning across the room, like a secret I've been keeping, like a flower waiting to bloom. The coffee got cold, the silence grew, and that's when I learned just how much I missed you. Maybe it wasn't the breakfast, maybe it wasn't the coffee, maybe it wasn't the laughter or the stories we'd share. Maybe it was something simpler, something honest and true. Maybe my favorite part of the morning had always been you. That empty stool kept staring at me until the day the bus came home, and through the diner window I saw you standing there alone. The coffee was hot, the smile was new, and suddenly everything felt right looking at you. Mike sat down. I poured his coffee, just like always. He smiled and said, "Morning, Betty." And for the first time, it sounded different. Funny thing about love, sometimes it was sitting right across from you the whole time. Funny thing about love.
The sun was setting behind Miller's garage. Most of the guys had already gone home. Only 2 people were left. One man looking back on a lifetime, and one man who still had his whole future ahead of him. Neither of them knew it yet. But tonight, something important was about to be said. The garage was quiet that evening. Just the sound of an old fan turning slow. Tom and Abby had already gone home. Mike was locking up down the road. Only Miller and Jimmy remained, working late on a '67 Ford. The kind of night where nobody's talking, but somehow everything gets heard. Jimmy wiped the grease from his hands, looked around at the walls and signs. Every dent and every tool carried a piece of another time. This place raised more than engines, more than trucks and old V8s. It raised friendships, it raised families, it helped a lot of people find their way. And the lights stayed on, just like they always had, through the good years and the hard years, through every happy day and every bad. And Jimmy wondered for the first time what the future might someday be. If these old walls could tell their stories, what would they say to me? Miller tightened one last bolt, then sat down with a tired smile. The summer air rolled through the doorway, and neither spoke for quite a while. Then Miller looked across the garage at the boy he watched become a man, and finally broke the silence with words Jimmy didn't understand. Miller looked across the garage, smiled, and said, "Son, one day this garage won't need me anymore." Jimmy laughed. "Don't say that." Miller nodded toward the lights above them. "Somebody has to keep the lights on." And the lights stayed on, hanging high above their heads, shining over every lesson and every road that still lay ahead. Jimmy stared across the workshop at everything he'd ever known, and for the first time in his life, he wondered if this place was home. Funny thing about dreams, sometimes you spend years looking for them somewhere else, And one day, you realize you've been standing inside one all along. Maybe it wasn't about leaving. Maybe it wasn't about starting again. Maybe it wasn't another garage at the far end of town. Maybe the dream was right here, in the oil and the dust, in the laughter and the memories, in the people he loved. And the lights stayed on as the evening turned to night. Jimmy finally understood what Miller saw inside his eyes. Not a mechanic, not a helper, not the kid who flipped the burgers years ago, but the man who'd keep the doors wide open for the next generation down the road. Miller grabbed the keys from the workbench, turned them in his hand, smiled, and said, "Not today, son. I've still got a few good years left." Jimmy laughed, and somehow it made him even happier. The lights stayed on. The lights stayed on. And so did the dream. The bus was home. The garage was open again. The coffee was hot. And for the first time in weeks, everybody was exactly where they belonged.
Friday night at Betty's Diner, every table filled with friends. The road was finally behind us, and nobody wanted the evening to end.
Jimmy talked about the desert sunsets.
Tom got half the stories wrong.
Mike just sat there smiling quietly
while the jukebox played along. It was Friday night at Betty's, coffee cups and old memories, laughter bouncing off the walls like it never wanted to leave. For one perfect evening, nobody had somewhere else to be. It was Friday night at Betty's, and life felt good to me.
Miller sat beside the window, watching everyone he loved.
Abby leaned her head on Tom's shoulder,
while the stars appeared above. Someone ordered cherry pie,
someone bought another round,
and for a little while
the whole world fit inside that town. It was Friday night at Betty's, stories flowing table to table, every mile of that long road trip turning into family fables. For one perfect evening, everything was where it should be. It was Friday night at Betty's, and life felt good to me.
Funny thing about coming home, you think it's a place, then one day you realize it's the people waiting there.
The lights outside grew softer. The crowd slowly thinned away. One by one the trucks departed at the end of a perfect day.
Hugs were given, promises made. See you tomorrow, the kind everybody meant.
It was Friday night at Betty's, the kind you'll remember years from now. Not because anything extraordinary happened, but because everybody was around. For one perfect evening, the world felt small and kind and free. It was Friday night at Betty's, exactly where we wanted to be.
The last customers left, the chairs went up, the jukebox fell silent. Betty wiped the counter, Mike stayed behind to help. Neither one seemed in a hurry outside. The town was sleeping inside. 2 cups of coffee were still warm.
Some nights don't change your life, they simply remind you why you love it.
Monday morning arrived with sunshine over Nashville. Sammy grabbed her backpack. Jimmy stood in the driveway. The yellow school bus stopped in front of the house. She waved goodbye, he waved back. And just like every other Monday, she had absolutely no idea what was waiting for her at home. Sammy climbed onto the school bus, laughing with her friends inside. The summer sun was already shining on the Tennessee countryside. Jimmy watched it disappear, then smiled and headed into town, trying hard to act normal while the whole surprise was coming around. It's Sammy's 12th summer, 12 candles shining bright. The whole town's been counting down to celebrate tonight. Balloons are waiting in the garage, music's drifting through the air. It's Sammy's 12th summer, and everybody's there. Betty's baking chocolate birthday cake, Abby's wrapping presents tight. Mike's hanging decorations, trying to get everything just right. Tom forgot the paper plates again for the second trip he'd make. Miller laughed and shook his head, saying, some things never change. It's Sammy's 12th summer, the sunshine fills the sky. Every friend and every neighbor helping time go by. The laughter keeps on growing, the excitement's everywhere. It's Sammy's 12th summer, and everybody cares. Funny thing about birthdays, kids spend all year waiting for them. Parents spend all year wondering how they arrive so fast. The school bus rolled back into town just a little after 3. Sammy saw the driveway crowded far more than she'd planned to see. She laughed before she reached the porch because she knew exactly why. Some surprises aren't a secret, they're just love you can't hide. As the evening settled softly and the Tennessee sky turned gold, Miller walked across the backyard carrying something old. A glass case wrapped in ribbon waiting underneath the light. and suddenly the party grew quiet for just a little while. It's Sammy's 12th summer, a night she'll always keep. Every smile and every memory, a promise she can keep. The stars appeared above them, the music filled the air. It's Sammy's 12th summer, and love was everywhere. Sammy opened the glass case. Inside was an old Mustang steering wheel, polished, beautiful, a piece of history. Miller smiled. "Your daddy loves old Mustangs. I figured you might too." Sammy ran her hand across the wheel, and for a moment, she looked exactly like Jimmy. Some gifts don't tell you where you've been. They remind you where you might go.
Tuesday morning arrived at Miller's garage. The coffee was hot. The tools were ready and parked in Bay 3. Was the biggest job Jimmy had ever seen. It rolled in slow just after sunrise, an old Ford covered up in dust. The paint was faded, tires cracking, the kind of truck most folks give up. An old man stepped out smiling, hand resting on the driver's door, and said, "My daddy bought this truck brand new back in '64. Jimmy walked around slowly. Mike just shook his head and laughed. Tom said, "We'll need a miracle." Abby took a photograph. The old man pulled a picture out, black and white and worn with age. 3 generations standing proudly beside that Ford back in the day. It's the truck in Bay 3, covered up in rust and time. 1,000 miles of memory still hiding underneath the grind. Everybody sees an old truck ready for the scrapyard scene, but Miller sees a story in the truck in Bay 3. The owner left around lunchtime, saying, "Take as long as you need." And silence filled the workshop as everybody looked at Jimmy. Because for the first time ever, nobody looked toward Miller's way. Every eye inside the garage was waiting to hear Jimmy say, "Yes, the truck in Bay 3, the biggest job they've ever seen. The kind that takes late evenings and a lot of coffee in between. The kind that tests your patience, the kind that tests your team. Waiting there in silence, the truck in Bay 3. Funny thing about old trucks, most people see what they are. The lucky ones see what they used to be. Jimmy opened up the hood, looked at Mike and looked at Tom, then glanced across the garage where Miller quietly stood. He smiled and said,
Well, boys, guess we better get started.
It's the Truckin' Bay 3, the one nobody could ignore. 100 little problems and probably 50 more, but somewhere underneath the rust and every fading memory was a truck worth saving.
In Bay 3, the garage lights stayed on that night, long after sunset, long after closing time. And for the first time, Jimmy wasn't working for Miller. He was leading the job. And the truck in Bay 3 was finally in the right hands.
Wednesday, 8:03 a.m. Everything was going according to plan, which should have been the first warning sign. Tom spent 20 minutes searching for a wrench he'd never lost. Mike kept trying to explain things at a rapidly increasing cost. Jimmy checked the work schedule twice and then another 3, while Miller sat there drinking coffee like it was live TV. It's just another day at Miller's garage. Nothing's going wrong at all if you ignore the missing toolbox and the ladder by the wall. Everybody's got a problem, nobody knows what it means. It's just another day at Miller's garage, and somehow we're still a team. A customer asked where Bay 3 was. Tom pointed toward Bay 4. The customer thanked him politely, then got lost for 20 more. Mike found a socket on the rooftop. Nobody knows how it got there. Jimmy wrote down 3 new questions. Nobody had answers to share. It's just another day at Miller's garage. Everything is under control, except the invoice on the workbench and whatever's in that hole. Everybody keeps on smiling even when it seems obscene. It's just another day at Miller's garage, and somehow we're still a team. Funny thing about organization, everybody agrees it's important. Nobody knows where we keep it. Betty crossed the street with coffee just in time to save the day. Tom asked where he left his coffee while holding it the whole way. Mike looked up toward the ceiling. Jimmy stared across the floor. Miller laughed so hard he nearly dropped the keys he'd searched for before. Around about 11:30, the shop dog wandered through. Nobody knew who owned him, but somehow everybody knew. He walked around inspecting things like a supervisor would do, then sat beside the toolbox and somehow found the missing tool. It's just another day at Miller's garage. Nothing happened like we planned, but every job got finished, mostly by accident. The trucks are still running, the coffee machine still steams. It's just another day at Miller's garage, and somehow we're still a team. At closing time, Jimmy finally asked, "Does anybody know what Tom was supposed to be doing today?" The garage got very quiet. Tom looked up, thought for a second, and said, "Actually, I was wondering the same thing." Nobody knew, and somehow everything worked out anyway. Nobody knew. Nobody knew where he came from. One hot summer afternoon, Jimmy was grilling burgers behind the garage. A dusty old dog wandered out of nowhere, sat down, stared at the grill, stole half a cheeseburger, and never left. He wasn't much to look at, a little scruffy, thin and slow. No collar hanging from his neck, no place that anybody knew. He slept beside the toolboxes and wandered where he pleased. By Friday everybody knew him, by Monday he had his own keys. That's Wrench, lying right where you need to be. That's Wrench, part of the garage family. He don't fix engines, he don't change tires, but somehow every day he keeps the place running. That's Wrench. Tom spent half the morning searching for a wrench he'd misplaced again. Mike looked underneath the pickup, Jimmy checked the shop back then. Then somebody pointed laughing at a dog beside Bay 2. Wrench was sleeping on the toolbox, and the missing wrench was too. That's Wrench, always right where you shouldn't be. That's Wrench, happy as a dog can be. He don't know schedules, he don't punch clocks, but somehow everybody smiles when a wrench walks through the shop. Funny thing about Wrench, nobody ever hired him, nobody ever trained him, and somehow he became Employee of the Month. Betty keeps a bowl behind her diner, Miller keeps a blanket in the shop, Sammy tied a red bandana around his neck one afternoon. Jimmy says he showed up hungry, Mike says he came looking for shade. Tom says Wrench chose Miller's garage, and honestly, that's probably what he did. Some dogs chase rabbits, some dogs chase cars. Wrench chases absolutely nothing unless somebody drops a burger. That's Wrench, the dog everybody claims. That's Wrench, the answer to half the jokes we make. He came from nowhere, nobody knows when, but somehow life got better the day Wrench wandered in. At closing time, Miller locked the garage, Jimmy turned off the lights, Betty closed the diner, and Wrench, he was already asleep, exactly where nobody could walk. Somewhere between the garage and the diner, Wrench found a home, and so did everybody else. Thursday, 10:42 a.m. Betty's diner was busy. The coffee was hot. The pancakes were perfect. And absolutely nobody expected the great coffee machine fire.
It started with a funny smell. Nobody knew where it came from. Betty checked the kitchen twice, then heard a pop behind the counter. A little puff of gray smoke rose right beside the coffee machine. And suddenly Betty yelled louder than anybody had ever seen. The great coffee machine fire, the talk of Tennessee. 3 drops of smoke and everybody acted like emergency. Mike came running, Jimmy too. Tom brought things nobody knew. The great coffee machine fire, the biggest thing that week. Jimmy nearly hit the doorway, trying to get there first. Mike was shouting instructions, Tom was somehow making it worse. Wrench was barking at the coffee pot like he'd found a wanted man. And Betty kept protecting pancakes with a frying pan in hand. The great coffee machine fire, nobody stayed calm at all. One little spark behind the counter and common sense left with the smoke. Mike grabbed cables, Jimmy ran, Tom arrived without a plan. The great coffee machine fire had the whole town on alert. Funny thing about emergencies, the smaller they are, the louder Tom gets. Across the street at Miller's garage, Miller watched the whole parade. Coffee cup still in his right hand, like he'd seen this every day. Then he held up the extinguisher and shouted through the noise, "Guys, the fire extinguisher's right here!" Nobody heard a word. Finally Mike saw Miller waving. Jimmy grabbed the can. Tom nearly sprayed himself instead, but somehow saved the diner. The smoke disappeared, the panic stopped. The coffee machine surrendered, and Wrench immediately stole a donut. The great coffee machine fire ended almost instantly. No heroes and no casualties except the coffee machine. The pancakes made it, the diner too, the donut disappeared. With Wrench, the great coffee machine fire will be told for years to come. Later that afternoon, a customer walked into Betty's diner, looked around and asked, "Is this where the fire was?" Betty looked at the broken coffee machine, looked at Miller, looked at Tom, and said, "Depends how dramatic you want the story to be." By sunset, the fire was out, but the storytelling had only just begun. Friday morning arrived in Nashville. The garage doors opened. The coffee was hot. The tools were ready. And for the first time in a very long time, Miller wasn't. He'd worked through every season, every summer, every storm. The kind of man who never stopped, the kind who carried on. But something felt a little different
as the morning rolled along. And suddenly the strongest man didn't feel quite as strong. Jimmy saw it first that morning. Mike saw it a little too. Abby stopped what she was doing. Even Wrench seemed worried too. And then Miller grabbed his chest and whispered, "Boys, I can't catch my breath." And suddenly the laughter vanished. For a moment everyone held theirs. Slow down, Miller, the garage will still be here. The trucks will keep on rolling, even if you disappear. For a weekend in the sunshine, for a moment of deserved rest. Slow down, Miller, and let the people you love do the rest. The doctor smiled that afternoon, said, "Nothing serious, my friend. Just too many years of carrying things you don't need to carry again." Miller nodded politely, then asked when he could leave. The doctor laughed and shook his head. That answer wasn't up to me. Funny thing about strong people, they spend so much time taking care of everybody else. Sometimes somebody has to remind them they're allowed to rest too. Abby canceled half his schedule. Jimmy locked the toolbox drawer. Mike took charge of Bay 3. Tom wasn't sure what Bay 3 was for. Betty brought a pie to visit. Wrench stole half of it somehow. And for the first time in forever, Miller wasn't working now. Slow down, Miller, the garage is doing fine. The lights are still burning, the sun still shines. You've built more than a workshop, you've built a family here. So slow down, Miller, and let them carry you this year. That Saturday evening, Miller sat in a lawn chair, watching the sunset, watching the garage, watching his people. And for the first time all week, he wasn't worried, he was smiling. Sometimes the strongest thing a man can do is finally sit down. Finally sit down.
Saturday, 6:58 a.m. Betty's diner was already busy. Coffee was flowing. Breakfast was disappearing. And across the street, Bay 4 was waiting. Tommy Jenkins rolled in early with a truck nobody could ignore. A brand new lift from Miller's garage. garage, bound for Bayford. Jimmy checked the paperwork, Mike checked every bolt and beam. Tom just looked up at the trailer and grinned like a machine. Bayford was waiting all day long. Bayford would test the whole crew strong. From sunrise over Nashville till the stars lit up the door, everybody gave their all for Bayford. The steel was heavy, the work was harder. The Tennessee sun burned high. Mike measured every inch twice. Jimmy kept a careful eye. Tom carried half the pieces like they weighed almost nothing at all. And every time somebody needed help, Tom was already there to call. Bayford slowly came alive. Bayford, piece by piece and side by side. The sweat rolled down, the hours passed, the concrete shook once more. Everybody built a future in Bayford. Funny thing about hard workers, the loudest guy in the room isn't always the strongest. Sometimes the strongest one is just the guy who never leaves. Around 6 o'clock that evening, most people would have called it done. But there was still work left to finish, and nobody was walking home. Tom tightened bolts in silence. Mike checked every wire once more. Jimmy stood back smiling as the lift rose from the floor. Then just after 10 that evening, the shop finally fell still. The new lift stood there shining exactly where it should. Miller stopped by for a moment, looking better than the day before, and quietly nodded toward the crew and toward Bayford. Bayford, standing strong and tall. Bayford, ready for Monday's call. The lights went dark, the job was done, the long day's work was through, and everybody knew they built something good. Tom sat down on a toolbox, exhausted, covered in dust. Abby handed him a bottle of water, looked at the lift, looked back at Tom, and smiled. You did good today. For a moment, Tom stood a little taller. Sunday, 9 a.m. The garage was closed. The diner was quiet, and for the first time all week, nobody had to work. The plan was simple: drive to Knoxville, watch some baseball, eat too many hot dogs, and enjoy the day. It was a good plan until Wrench got involved. Tennessee morning light. Betty packed enough food for 20. Tom packed snacks for 25. Jimmy drove while Abby laughed. Mike pretended not to sing, and Wrench rode shotgun proudly like he owned the
A Sunday none of us expected, but somehow turned out good. The Volunteers were playing, the Tennessee sky was blue, and before the game was over, the whole stadium knew Wrench too. The Vols were playing great that afternoon, the crowd was loud and strong. Hot dogs, cold drinks, and sunshine, everything was rolling along. Miller leaned back smiling, finally taking a day off right. And for a few sweet hours, everything felt just right. It was the day Wrench caught the ball. The story still gets told. A dog from Miller's garage and a moment worth its weight in gold. The Volunteers kept swinging, the crowd knew what to do. Nobody knew the seventh inning would belong to Wrench too. Funny thing about baseball, you can plan every inning, you can study every player, but nobody plans for a dog. Bottom of the seventh inning, a line drive headed toward the grass. Then suddenly from out of nowhere, a furry blur went running past. Over the rail and onto the field before anybody had a chance. The ball came down, Wrench jumped up and somehow made the catch. The stadium went completely crazy, the players couldn't stop their smiles. Tom yelled, "That's our dog!" Halfway across 3 aisles, Mike covered up his face. Jimmy nearly fell apart, and Betty saved the whole operation with half a hot dog and a smart start. It was a day Wrench caught the ball, the day Tennessee roared. A dog became a legend without even knowing what for. The Volunteers won the game, the sunset painted gold and blue, and somewhere in the middle of it all, a little dog became the news. The bus ride home was quiet, everybody was exhausted. The coolers were empty, the game was over. And Wrench, he was asleep, curled up on the back seat, with a baseball tucked between his paws. Monday was coming, but for one perfect Sunday, nobody cared. Nobody cared. Monday morning, the garage was busy. The phones were ringing, coffee was brewing, and Abby was sorting through the mail. Bills, invoices, advertisements. Then she stopped. A handwritten envelope addressed to John Miller. Abby carried it across the office. "Looks important," she softly said. Miller looked down at the handwriting, and something stirred inside his head. The world kept turning all around him. The garage carried on outside, but 50 years came rushing back the moment he broke the seal and read,
letter started, "Dear John," and suddenly he wasn't here. He was standing in a school gymnasium, half a century disappeared. A blue dress beneath the spotlight, a nervous smile across the room, and a shy young girl named Susan beneath the Tennessee moon. "Dear John, do you remember me?" The girl standing by the wall, afraid nobody would see. "Dear John, one dance changed everything. A single night, a simple kindness, and a memory that never left." The words unfolded slowly, like photographs from long ago. Each sentence carried pieces of a life he'd never known. No great romance, no fairy tale, no promises to keep. Just a young man holding out his hand, and a memory she chose to keep. Funny thing about life, most days seem ordinary until somebody reminds you they weren't. Outside, Tommy's truck rolled past. Mike was working bay forward. Tom was searching for a wrench again, and Wrench was sleeping by the door. But none of that existed for a little while that day, because John Miller was 18 and Susan hadn't gone away. The years had taken many things the way the years always do, but somehow one spring evening had survived the passing through. A dance floor, a song, a smile, a simple act of grace, and now a letter had returned it to its rightful place. "Dear John, the years may come and go, but kindness leaves a footprint far deeper than we know. Dear John, some memories never fade. A single dance, a single night, and a life forever changed." Abby looked up. "Everything okay?" Miller folded the letter, looked out toward the garage, and smiled. "Yeah, just got a letter from 50 years ago." For a moment, John Miller remembered the boy who became the man.
Dear John, I don't know if you remember me. 50 years is a very long time. Truth be told, I wasn't even sure this letter would find you. But a few weeks ago, I was sitting on my porch, watching the sun go down. And for some reason, I found myself thinking about a boy named John Miller. A shy boy, a kind boy, a boy who asked a nervous girl named Susan Sullivan to the senior prom. You probably don't remember much about that night. Life has a way of carrying us forward. But I do. I remember the blue dress my mother helped me pick out. I remember being terrified nobody would ask me to dance. And I remember you walking across that gym floor. You smiled, held out your hand, and changed the whole evening. No grand romance followed, no movie ending, no dramatic love story. Just one wonderful night. One young man who made a young woman feel seen. And somehow, 50 years later, I still remember that feeling. The reason I'm writing isn't because I'm looking backward. It's because at my age, you begin to realize how much small acts of kindness matter. You repaired something for me that night, John. Not a car, not a machine. You repaired a little piece of confidence that a shy girl didn't know she was missing. I wanted you to know that. And I wanted to thank you wherever life is taking you. I hope it has been good. And if you're still dancing, save one for me. With love and gratitude. Susan Sullivan.
Saturday evening, the last days of summer, and every road in Nashville seemed to lead to the county fair. The lights were coming on, the music was starting, and for one perfect night, everybody was there. The Ferris wheel was turning slowly against a painted Tennessee sky. Children running through the midway with excitement in their eyes. Cotton candy, lemonade stands, laughter floating through the air. And every face in town seemed younger at the county fair. That's where the lights come on, that's where the whole town sings, where old friends meet and young hearts dream. Beneath the summer evening stars, life feels lighter than it really is when the lights come on at the fairgrounds. Tom was losing at a ring toss. Mike said he could do no worse. Abby won a giant teddy bear, but somehow ended up with ranch. Betty knew half the people there, and twice as many knew her name. And every few feet somebody shouted, "Good to see you again." Maria stood beside the grandstand, watching Sammy laugh and run. For a moment she still saw the little girl she'd once become.
Jimmy wrapped an arm around her as the evening drifted by and quietly said, she's growing up, with pride shining in his eyes. That's where the lights come on. That's where memories are made, where summer lingers just a little longer before it slips away. The music plays, the children laugh, the whole world feels alright when the lights come on a Tennessee summer night. Funny thing about county fairs, nobody remembers who won the prizes. Nobody remembers the scores, but everybody remembers who they were with. Then the fireworks lit the darkness, red and gold across the sky. The Ferris wheel kept turning slowly, like it didn't want the night to die. And somewhere near the shooting gallery, Wrench somehow won a blue ribbon prize. Nobody knew exactly how, but nobody was surprised. That's where the lights come on. That's where the stories start, where families gather, friends grow closer, and strangers become part of something bigger than themselves beneath the Tennessee sky. When the lights come on at the county fair tonight. The ride slowed down, the music faded, the lights grew smaller in the distance, and as Nashville drove home that night, everybody carried a little piece of summer with them. Some nights don't change the world, they just remind us why we love it. Oh. 2:03 in the morning. The county fair was over. The lights were out. The town was sleeping. Then the phone rang. Miller woke up to the sound of tires sliding down the road, a flash of headlights through the curtains, then a crash outside his home. He pulled on boots in an old flannel. Wrench was barking at the door, and before his coffee even started, he was running across the floor. Blue lights painted Main Street silver, broken glass beneath the moon. A pickup sitting in the ditch where it shouldn't be this soon. A couple kids were standing shaking, nobody badly hurt somehow. Miller looked at them and quietly thought, thank the Lord for right now. When the phone rang, nobody asked why. Nobody said, can it wait till daylight? They just showed up like they always do. When the phone rang, the whole town moved. Jimmy came in house slippers. Mike forgot to comb his hair. Tom showed up in pajama pants like he teleported there. Betty crossed the street half sleeping, still carrying coffee somehow. And Abby's truck came rolling in before the sirens settled down. Funny thing about small towns, you never really stand alone. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call. The young man finally spoke up. His voice was shaking in the night. I only had a couple beers. Then he lowered down his eyes. Miller sat beside him quietly, not angry, not judging, not loud. Just an old man on a roadside, trying to help him figure it out. The wreckers came, the deputies left, the stars faded one by one. And somewhere in the growing daylight, the lesson finally sunk in. Some mistakes can be forgiven, some second chances come for free. But next time call somebody before you ever take those keys. When the phone rang, nobody stayed behind. Friends became family in the middle of the night. And when the sun rose on another Tennessee day, everybody knew how lucky they'd been. When the phone rang, the road was clear again. The town went back to sleep. Betty poured one last cup of coffee. Wrench finally laid back down. And as the sun climbed over Nashville, Miller smiled. Because tonight could have ended differently. Sometimes the best mornings begin with a second chance.
It started like every normal Tuesday. The coffee was hot. The garage was open. The sun was shining. And then Tom looked into Bay 3. There was a cow. Miller stepped outside the office, thinking Tom was joking again. But standing where the Ford should have been was a cow looking back at him. Jimmy dropped his morning coffee. Mike nearly swallowed a wrench. Abby laughed so hard she cried, and Betty yelled, "What happens next?" Cows in Bay 3, nobody knows how they got there. Cows in Bay 3, standing around like they own the place. One by the toolbox, one by the lift, one chewing something Tom just fixed. Cows in Bay 3, Lord have mercy on me. Then they heard it down Main Street, a sound nobody could ignore. 500 cattle moving slowly past every house and every store. Cowboys riding Tennessee horses, dust rising in the morning sun. And somehow every single person stopped working just to watch the fun. Wrench decided he was helping like a cowboy dog from days gone by. The only problem with his plan was he kept moving cows the wrong way every time. One ended up inside the office, two were standing near the diner sign. And Betty said they drink more coffee than some customers of mine. Cows in Bay 3, Tom says this ain't staring at a tire on the floor. Cows in Bay 3, this ain't happened here before. Funny thing about Tennessee, you can wake up expecting a normal day, and by noon, there's livestock in your workplace. By late afternoon, the herd moved on. The cowboys tipped their hats goodbye. Betty gave them free coffee as the Tennessee sun crossed the sky. The streets grew quiet once again. The dust slowly drifted away, but nobody in town would stop talking about what happened that day. Cows in Bay 3, a story for the grandkids someday. Cows in Bay 3, the kind of thing that never leaves. The trucks got fixed, the town moved on, but everybody still sings this song about cows in Bay 3 at Miller's Garage, Tennessee. That night, they built a campfire outside town. The cowboys played guitars, the stars came out. Wrench fell asleep beside the fire, and Tom looked around and said, "Tomorrow's gotta be normal." Nobody believed him, especially the cow. Family has a funny way of calling. Sometimes it's a phone call. Sometimes it's a memory. And sometimes it's a trip you never planned to take. Rebecca called on Tuesday morning, said she'd taken a nasty fall. Nothing broken, just a bruised up knee, but she could use some help, that's all. Miller didn't hesitate. He said, "I'll be there by tonight." Then he grabbed his keys and old pickup and pointed it toward the light. The whole crew gathered in the parking lot, like he was leaving for a year. Abby packed enough supplies for weeks. Betty brought sandwiches and cheer. Tom loaded things nobody needed. Mike checked the truck twice through, and Wrench jumped in before anybody asked, like he always seemed to do. It's the long way to Clarksville when the road has plans of its own. The miles get longer, the nights get stranger, and home feels farther from home. But some roads are worth traveling, no matter how far they wind. When family needs a hand, you leave the rest behind. They made it halfway through Tennessee when the temperature needle climbed. Steam rolled out beneath the hood right there at the worst possible time. Miller stared at the engine, Wrench stared at Miller too. And somewhere in that silence, both knew exactly what they had to do. Funny thing about old trucks, They always choose the most inconvenient place to teach you patience. The tow truck came at sunset. The garage was closed for the night. A little roadside motel had one room left beneath a flickering neon light. Room 12 smelled like old carpet and 100 stories before. Wrench inspected every corner, then lay down by the door. The air conditioner rattled loudly. The pipes made sounds he couldn't place. The mattress felt completely different than the one back home he'd used for years. And sometime after midnight, staring at the ceiling fan, Miller found himself smiling, thinking about his crazy friends. It's the long way to Clarksville when you're sleeping somewhere strange. A little older, a little wiser, learning some things never change. Because no matter where the road goes or where the night may end, home isn't always a place. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's friends. The morning brought hot coffee, a mechanic and a brand new hose. The old truck growled back to life, and down the highway Miller rode. Rebecca laughed when he arrived, said, "You took your sweet old time." Miller grinned and hugged his sister. Long story, maybe two. It's the long way to Clarksville and an even longer way back home. 5 days helping family, 5 days never spent alone. And when the garage appeared again, like a picture from a dream, every face was waiting there, exactly where they should have been. Tom asked, "So what happened?" Miller smiled, took a sip of coffee, looked at Wrench, and said, "It was the radiator hose." The story got longer every time he told it.
"3:14 p.m. The radio stopped playing music, and everybody knew why. Betty turned the volume higher. The waitress stopped beside the door. The voice said, "Tornado warning," like they'd heard 100 times before. Tom looked west beyond the highway. Jimmy stepped outside to see, but something in the distant darkness felt different than it used to be. The clouds rolled low above the rooftops. The summer air turned strangely still. The birds disappeared from the treetops, and every heart began to feel that quiet fear no one talks about, the one that settles deep inside when nature reminds every person how small we are beneath the sky. When the sky turned green and the daylight faded, when the wind stopped breathing and the world stood still, every prayer felt louder, every minute longer. over Tennessee. Miller opened up the office. Everybody gathered there. Abby watched the weather radar. Mike just stared and said no prayer. Wrench lay silent by the doorway, something he had never done. Even dogs can feel the danger long before it reaches anyone. Nobody was talking much, not because they didn't have words, because they all had the same thought: please let it pass. Then somebody pointed westward, far beyond the church and fields. A dark shape slowly crossed the horizon, turning slowly like a wheel. No movie screen could ever capture what a person truly sees when a tornado walks across the earth like something from a dream. When the sky turned green and the sirens started, when the windows trembled and the power line sank, every second mattered, every heartbeat counted. When the sky turned green over Tennessee, the church lost part of its rooftop. Trees were scattered through the rain. The fields would carry scars tomorrow, but tonight no lives were claimed. And somewhere in the roaring thunder, somewhere in the driving rain, every soul inside that office held on tighter, just the same. When the sky turned green and the darkness gathered, when the world seemed balanced between fear and faith, the storm kept moving, the town kept standing. When the sky turned green over Tennessee, the sirens stopped. The rain grew softer, and for a moment, nobody moved, because they couldn't quite believe it was over. It was over. The storm was gone. The rain was slowing. And for the first time all afternoon, people started breathing again. The church was missing a few shingles. A couple trees lay on the ground. The fields would need some work tomorrow, but tonight there wasn't much to count. No ambulances on the highway, no name spoken with a prayer. Just muddy boots and grateful faces, thanking God that everyone was there. Betty switched the diner's sign on. The coffee pot was working hard. Tom came in still, telling stories about the storm and how far apart. The funnel was from Miller's garage, at least according to his eyes. Mike just laughed and shook his head, saying,
it gets bigger every time. After the sirens, after the thunder, after the fear had finally passed, the little things felt bigger, the ordinary mattered, and nobody wanted to leave too fast. After the sirens, we sat together, watching the daylight slowly fade, thankful for the people around the table and the simple gift of one more day. Abby looked out through the window at a sky now washed in gold. Jimmy talked about tomorrow like tomorrow was a thing to hold. Miller didn't say much, just listened with a quiet smile. Sometimes the best conversations are the ones that drift a while. Funny thing about storms, they remind you what matters. Not the things you own, the people you would miss. Wrench slept beneath the counter, exhausted from his busy day, though nobody was really certain what exactly he'd done anyway. Betty set another coffee down, the jukebox softly filled the room, and for the first time since the warning, nobody looked toward the storm. After the sirens, after the thunder, after the fear had finally passed, the little things felt bigger, the ordinary mattered, and nobody wanted to leave too fast. After the sirens, we sat together, listening to the evening rain, knowing life felt different for a little while. After looking fear in the face, the stars came back above Tennessee, one by one across the sky. And somewhere beyond the darkness, the storm kept rolling by. But here beneath the diner lights, where friends and coffee always meet, the world felt safe again, and somehow that was all they needed. After the sirens, after the thunder, after the long and anxious day, no heroes, no headlines, just ordinary people finding their way. After the sirens, the town kept beating like it always had before, and every heart around that table knew exactly what they were thankful for. The last customers went home. The coffee pot was empty. The stars were back, and tomorrow would be just another day. The kind of day nobody would ever take for granted again.
Jimmy hammered the last tent peg into the ground. Maria looked at the clouds. Jimmy looked at the girls. Wrench looked at the picnic basket. Everybody was thinking about something different. Sammy danced across the backyard, Paula right behind her heels. Sleeping bags and teddy bears, a radio and homemade meals. Jimmy strung up little lanterns between the maple and the pine. Maria packed another blanket just in case the night turned cold with time. Air mattresses were slowly filling, flashlights waiting by the door. 2 12-year-olds with giant dreams couldn't possibly ask for more. The stars were starting to appear, fireflies blinked soft and low. Jimmy smiled and whispered quietly, "This is how good memories grow." One perfect evening under Tennessee skies, 2 little dreamers with wonder in their eyes. A tent full of laughter, a backyard full of light, believing nothing in the world could spoil this summer night. Maria wasn't fully certain. What if something goes wrong tonight? Jimmy squeezed her hand and answered, "I'll be watching till first light." Then he called for old Wrench softly. The dog came trotting through the gate. Someone had to guard the princesses, even if he'd rather investigate snacks. Funny thing about childhood, it doesn't remember perfect plans. It remembers perfect moments. Just past midnight came the thunder, then the first big drops of rain. Sammy grabbed her favorite teddy, Paula laughed despite the pain. Sleeping bags and pillows flying, flashlights bouncing through the yard. 2 soaked girls came racing home, still grinning just as hard. One perfect evening, though it didn't go as planned. Sometimes the best adventures slip right through your hands. The rain may win the battle, the clouds may hide the moon, but memories have a funny way of blooming all too soon. The tent stood empty in the garden, lanterns swayed beneath the sky. Wrench sat proudly by the doorway, like he'd chased the storm nearby. Jimmy dried the girls' wet blankets, Maria poured hot cocoa slow, and everyone agreed together, we'll simply try again. Years from now, they won't remember the rain. They'll remember trying to sleep outside and running home laughing with Wrench close behind. With Wrench close behind.
you ever find yourself on a quiet road near Nashville and see an old wooden sign that says Miller's Garage, pull in. You might think you're stopping for a repair. You're not.
John Miller opens every morning just before the rising sun. 70 years upon his shoulders, still the first to get things done. He'll shake your hand before your wallet, ask your name before your keys, and somehow after just 5 minutes make a stranger feel at ease. Inside the office, Abby's smiling, clipboard balanced in her hand. She somehow keeps the whole place running without anyone quite understanding how she can. She remembers birthdays, checks on neighbors, knows who's hurting without a word. Half the town believes the garage would stop if Abby ever took a day off work. Then Tom comes whistling through the doorway, carrying breakfast for the crew. He's the first to laugh at his own mistakes and the first to help you through. Ask him for a wrench, he'll bring you to. Ask him to stay late, he's already there. The stories grow a little every telling, but so does the joy he shares. It was never about the cars, never the chrome, the grease, the scars. It was the people standing side by side, showing up every single time. Some places fix engines, this place fixes days. Mike doesn't waste many words, but he notices everything. He hears trouble before it arrives and quietly gets to work. Jimmy's right beside him, lifting what needs lifting, never asking who gets credit. When something's heavy, they simply carry it together. Across the road, Betty pours another cup, cherry pie cooling by the window. Truckers, teachers, farmers, families, everybody gets the same warm welcome. Nobody leaves hungry. Funny thing about home, sometimes you don't grow up there. Sometimes you simply arrive. School lets out and Sammy runs in smiling, full of questions, full of plans. She reminds every grown-up present what believing still looks like. The wrench wanders through the open door, tracking muddy paw prints everywhere, wearing absolutely no expression that suggests he's done anything wrong. There have been storms, there have been letters, coffee spilled across the counter, birthdays, broken radiators, county fairs, long goodbyes, quiet miracles, and somehow the lights are always on the next morning. It was never about the cars, it was always about this family, about Abby's patience, Tom's laughter, Mike's steady hands, Jimmy's loyalty, Betty's coffee, Sammy's dreams, Wrench sleeping exactly where you need to walk, and John Miller
unlocking the door once again. If you ever pass through Tennessee, don't remember the building, remember the people, because Miller's Garage was never really a garage. It was proof that ordinary kindness can keep the whole world running.
Some people chase sunsets.
Some chase dreams.
We borrowed an old tractor and found both. I picked you up just after breakfast with a blanket and a basket full of bread. The old green tractor started coughing. You laughed and climbed up anyway.
No hurry waiting in the distance. No clock telling us what to do. Just dusty roads through Tennessee, and an afternoon with you.
Your baseball cap kept blowing sideways. Every bump made both of us smile.
Wildflowers danced along the fence line
as we rolled
another mile.
You pointed toward the highest hill and said,
let's stop right there.
So we parked beneath the summer sky
with nothing but open air.
on a tractor made for two,
with the whole wide world behind us.
a little road
A little sunshine
and love too young to know its name.
on a tractor made for two. We didn't need forever.
One blue Tennessee afternoon
Was everything and more.
we spread the blanket in the clover. You unpacked sweet tea and pie.
The breeze carried songs from nowhere. A hawk circled lazy in the sky.
I watched you chase a butterfly,
You pretended not to see.
but I knew in that quiet moment
You'd become my favorite memory. You carved our initials in the fence post, then looked around to make sure nobody knew.
I still remember how embarrassed
You got when I laughed at you.
we lay beneath the drifting clouds
Naming every shape we found
until the only thing we heard
was the soft Tennessee sound.
Funny how the biggest moments sometimes happen on the smallest roads. On a tractor made for two,
With a picnic in the sunshine.
no fancy plans,
No perfect words.
just fields that seem to never end. On a tractor made for two,
We found a little corner,
where time forgot to hurry on,
and love learned how to breathe.
If tomorrow comes too quickly,
Then let's stay here 1 minute more.
listen to the wind.
Listen to your heart
and remember
what today was for.
On a tractor made for two,
When the golden light was falling,
the basket empty,
the blanket warm,
the summer slowly saying goodbye. On a tractor made for two,
we drove home through the evening,
not knowing years would pass,
but always knowing we'd remember this ride.
some memories fade.
Some grow brighter,
That old tractor never went very fast.
but somehow
It carried us
exactly where we needed to be.
Friday night and the game is over. Small town lights fading into gold. You're sitting on the tailgate smiling, and suddenly the night feels whole.
The radio is playing softly,
Some old country song we know, and I keep trying not to stare at you, but I don't think it shows.
you keep pretending you're not nervous, but I can see it in your eyes. The way you laugh at almost nothing, the way you look away sometimes.
The summer air feels like a movie. The fireflies are all around, and somehow in this little moment the whole world slows down. The sun is falling, the stars are waking. Neither one of us wants to leave. On the tailgate, under Tennessee skies, the radio is playing, and the moon is starting to rise. You're sitting close beside me, and everything feels right on the tailgate. On a perfect summer night. On the tailgate,
Where the world disappears,
just two hearts beating,
and a sky full of dreams.
tonight feels endless.
Like it might never end.
On the tailgate, just you and me again. I don't know where this road is leading, I don't know what tomorrow brings, but right now I don't want anything more than this simple thing.
Your hand is almost touching mine,
And my heart is running wild.
funny how a single moment can feel bigger than your whole life. Maybe someday we'll look back laughing at how shy we were tonight, but right now all I want is to stay right here beneath these lights.
The cornfields dance beyond the highway, the warm wind whispers through the trees. And if this is what love feels like, don't wake me from this dream. On the tailgate, under Tennessee skies, the radio is playing, and the moon is starting to rise. You're sitting close beside me, and everything feels right on the tailgate. On a perfect summer night. No plans,
No promises,
no need,
say a word,
just this night
this feeling,
and the song we never heard. On the tailgate,
under Tennessee skies.
the radio
Keeps playing as the stars fill up the night. You're sitting close beside me, and I never want to leave. On the tailgate, exactly where I want to be.
couldn't tell you what movie was playing. Not anymore.
Funny how life works. The screen was 100 feet wide, but somehow, the most important story that night was sitting right beside me.
The summer air was soft and golden as the sun slipped out of sight. Old Chevrolets and Fords were rolling into another Friday night. Popcorn and Coca-Cola, blankets in the backseat too. The movie hadn't even started, and I was already watching you. The speakers crackled softly, the stars began to shine, and somehow all the world felt smaller while you moved closer to mine. Under the driving stars, where the movies lit the night, the screen was telling stories, but you were stealing every line. Under the driving stars, where young hearts learned to fly, the movie faded into darkness, but the memory never died.
There were couples sharing secrets. There were friends piled in a truck. There were dreamers chasing moments and teenagers chasing luck. Somewhere a radio was playing beyond the rows of parked cars, and all of us were writing stories under those American stars. The projector kept on turning, the summer kept rolling on, and none of us could ever know how quickly time would be gone. Under the driving stars, where the movies lit the night, the screen was telling stories, but you were stealing every line. Under the driving stars, where young hearts learned to fly, the movie faded into darkness, but the memory never died. Maybe that's why people still miss those places. Not because of the movies, not because of the popcorn, not because of the cars, but because for a few hours the whole world slowed down, and the people beside us became the only story that mattered.
The movie's long forgotten, but the feeling still lives on. Under the driving stars, where dreams came alive, and somehow the best story never played upon the screen. It was sitting right beside me under the driving stars.
I don't remember the movie, but I remember the stars. And I remember you. And somehow, that's enough. That's enough. Some people dream of castles. Some people dream of fortunes. We never dreamed that big. All we wanted was each other.
A little white church on a country road,
Sunday flowers in the sun,
friends and family gathered around
to watch two hearts become one.
Your father wiped a tear away.
My mother couldn't hide her smile.
And when they said you may kiss the bride,
The world stood still a while.
old tin cans tied to the bumper,
Rattling down that dusty lane.
everybody waving goodbye as we drove into the unknown again. Just married, the words were painted on the glass.
A pickup full of dreams and laughter, watching small town memories pass.
Just married, with nowhere we had to be.
The whole world stretched before us, like an endless highway to see.
Arizona skies kept getting bigger.
The desert turned the evening gold,
We chased sunsets through the canyons,
and stories we'd someday grow old to tell.
we shared coffee at old diners,
Slept beneath the million stars,
learning that forever starts
with little moments in the dark. Every mile became a memory.
every sunrise felt brand new.
The road kept winding westward,
But my favorite view was always you. Just married,
the words were painted on the glass. A pickup full of dreams and laughter, watching small town memories pass. Just married, with nowhere we had to be. The whole world stretched before us, like an endless highway to see.
people think the journey is about the places,
The mountains,
the deserts,
the oceans.
but years later,
I don't remember every road.
I remember who was sitting beside me.
can still hear the cans
behind the Chevrolet. Just married.
Two kids chasing the sunset line.
We thought we were crossing America,
but we were really crossing into our lives.
just married.
And after all these years,
The greatest destination
was never on the map.
it was you.
The road ended.
The journey never did.
Every dream starts somewhere, not with a crowd, not with applause, not with a hit song. Sometimes it starts with a kid and a guitar that's slightly out of tune. Found it in a pawn shop window, hanging there beneath the light. Scratches on the wooden body, but to him it looked just right. He spent 3 months mowing lawns, saving every dollar he could earn. And the day he brought that guitar home, his whole world started to turn. Strings cut into his fingers, the chords were hard to play. But every hero has a moment when they choose to find a way. It was the first chord, the first sound, the first step on a road not yet found. A small town kid with stars in his eyes, holding a dream that was bigger than life. The first chord wasn't perfect, it wasn't even in tune, but somewhere in that moment, a dream began to bloom. His bedroom walls were covered with pictures of the stars, people who once stood where he stood, dreaming from afar. He'd play until his fingers hurt long after everyone had slept, because some dreams don't let you go once they get inside your head. His mother heard the music through the hallway late at night. Though he wasn't very good yet, she smiled and left the light. It was the first chord, the first sound, the first step on a road not yet found. A small town kid with stars in his eyes, holding a dream that was bigger than life. The first chord wasn't perfect, it wasn't even in tune, but somewhere in that moment, a dream began to bloom. Funny thing about dreams, nobody sees them when they're born. Nobody knows which kid in which bedroom might someday change the world. All they see is a guitar. What they don't see is the fire.
it was the first chord, Every stage, every song, every mile that he'd travel on. The first chord echoes forever through every dream we chase, because every legend starts somewhere, and every star needs a place. And for one small town boy on one ordinary night, the first chord changed his life. The crowd wasn't there yet. The spotlight wasn't there yet. The songs weren't there yet. But the dream was. And sometimes that's all you need.